Welcome, friends. This is Pranav. It's been almost 1.5 years that we spoke about any stocks. I was active on the WhatsApp channel, but nothing on the YouTube channel, education-wise. And I want everyone to learn, and it's very easy to learn. It's basically Elliott Wave counts and some chart patterns. It's very easy to grasp. It took me 1 hour to compose this, actually, to arrange the slides and stuff. But if you are going through the charts within 30 minutes, you can get the whole picture. Mostly correct, actually, for the longer term. In the past, if you see the videos from 2024 and a little bit earlier, CDSL, IRTC, GMR Infra, there is Tata Motors, all seems out to be a good one for Indian stocks, actually. The reason that I'm going back over here is that NSE looks very interesting at the moment. I don't have the video for the NSE, but let's start with the very first video in this 2025 about Larsen Toubro. Today is 29th June 25. Current market price of the LNT is 36.79. Without going into much detail, let's see what are we looking over here. The recent target, we are about to break out something over here. Once we do confirm the breakout with the volume, actually, we might be looking at 4,200, 4,600, and 5,300. Most likely, the scenario that we are playing in a part, it has a 4,600 calculated on it. There are many reasons to go for it, and strong support do exist at 3080. So if you see that this is our weekly chart of Larsen Toubro, this is the weekly chart. What I have done is I have drawn the cup and handle for you. This is very basic pattern. What you see is a round base developing over here. Then there's a breakout happens over here. The breakout line happened at 1500. That's what we call our neckline. And we confirm with the volume actually over here, if the volume is sustainable or not. This is monthly could be looks like actually. This is weekly. So what happened is that this breakout happens. The depth of the breakout was 780. So once the breakout happens, you put 780 from that. That was giving us a target of 2384 if you see that. And there is a symmetry happening over here in this chart. I could have done it from 2200 to 750, but I choose the half point, the way the graph was designed actually. So 2384 halfway, and if you see that you put 1572 sharp, it comes around somewhere around 4000 from 2384. That is in the past, but that gives us how the stock behavior is happening. Let's move on to next one. So as I said, we are still on the weekly. I do follow the Elliott wave. What we are seeing, if you see that, this is the massive waves we are talking about. So this is our from here to here, we are one. This is the correction that happened on two. Correction was up to here. Then the massive direction change over here. If you see that, that's our wave three. It is still ongoing actually. We have not concluded this, but what we see the cluster over here is actually what I put the count over here. Three will become here. This is four, and we are in the final fifth wave of the bigger wave three actually on this cycle. So based on this, it's giving us certain targets: 38.95. Then what we are looking is 53, 5400, and 6800. Is it possible? We don't know. It's too futuristic. But 3900, it's double top going to happen. That's going to come soon for sure. Now, what else I'm looking in this is, let's see. Then based on, so this scenario was considering the equality rules actually. So 3900 was called on this one. Now, based on the other possibilities with the Elliott wave, minimum travel, it's going to be happening at 4000, which is 3900, somewhere around here, double top, and we could fail it. It could go to 4400, 4800, and 5342. In a longer run, if I'm looking, it's going to be 5400 actually. It could go to 5987 or somewhere around here, but that's how we start doing the fine tuning in the chart. These are the bigger pictures that I'm looking without going in details, but as we go in details, we start looking more and more ideas on it. So based on this chart now, it's a daily chart. This is the daily chart since early 2020. So if you see that, so what we see that this is a strong zone over here. That's buying zone. You can draw it very easily. What I'm trying to show you is this channel is being parallel, and something is very interesting on this one. So this is our selling zone, and if you see that this is the balance, mostly throughout the time it stays over here, but it's continuously growing up. Now we are in the upper half of the band actually. I can't call it a selling zone, but yes, if you're a buyer, if you see it's coming between this line as of today, if it comes somewhere around, I will say 3400, 3400 looks like it actually, then it's a good buying price at the moment. You should go in that 3400 and look for actually 4000 on it if it dips, but we know what's happening in the market now. Let's go. Another interesting characteristic that this has is very first wave when it has happened, 78% was corrected. Now the second wave when it happened, it's 70% corrected. And when this third wave, which is up to here only, then 38% was given up. So those are the characteristics of the waves. What it shows that when the correction happened, this pullback was strong. So correction was strong over here. So company were going through certain reformations and whatever needs to happen. So that happened. But when this fall happened, the bulls were in control at the moment because it's only 38%. Even up to 50% correction will be called neutral. When it's 38%, it's a strong buyers in the control, somewhat very aggressive. But when it's the correction stops at 23%, then we know what is it. It's in the zone for the massive growth actually. The buyers in the control of that rally. I was not sure on it, so how to get my Elliott wave counts right. Still, I could be wrong. So I do take the help of the Renko for the Elliott wave. So that's how it's very clear to see the phase of the growth for any company using the Renko, that you can easily pinpoint what are the counts, what we are looking. You don't have to have exact counts, but at least you need to know where one count started and one count ended. I could be wrong calling it 1 and 2 minor waves, 3 and 4, who knows, I'm right or wrong, but you need to know where it started, where it began. So there is one wave started at 800, it ended over here, the correction went over here, and we could be looking for a new wave, or we could be in still correction phase of wave 3 to 4. So now we are gonna see what happened since 2020. So if you see that this is my Fibonacci over here, then it was growing up over here. So basically it was 750, it went to 1987, 1250, then the correction happened. If you see that 1140, so almost half was given. So 50% is this one. If you see the bigger wave actually from here to here, the correction was only 23%. But if you say, okay, this is the rally point was from here actually 1440, then okay, that's fine. If you see the percentage, 38% it came down, and still it means that buyers are in control over here. There is something strong happening in this LNT. So yes, it's a good stock to be invested at the moment. The stories could change any moment, right? Now this is on a monthly basis. I just wanted to make sure the minor waves over here, what's happening. Based on that, these are the targets that came, but still we are in the tuning process. So one thing to keep it in mind, 1995, 2000, that's a very strong support of the rally. If something goes wrong with this company, then we might see going down, but it's called off at the moment. What is the supports? At the worst case, we are looking is 2800 over here, and some good supports are at, very strong supports exist at 3080. So I just want to see, we were talking about the targets, but before we go and fine tune the targets, I always want to see what is our risk that we are looking actually. So at this moment, assuming that, okay, let's assume this is a strong company, fundamentals are strong and everything is good. What are we looking in the worst case? Worst case could be anything, but reasonable worst case. So 3080 is coming as a good support over here based on the counts and volume build-up profile. If you see that over here, there is a huge cluster being built up. So this is being coiled over here. So what you see volume, these volumes are stuck, whether they are holding the position, whether they are short sell or whatever the reason, right? So this volume is coiled over here. What it means when the breakout happens in any directions, breakout is called up, breakdown is called down basically. So whenever the movement happens, it's going to be massive. So at least what we are looking for the movement of $1,000 from the breakout of 4,000. I will call 3,900 would be a breakout, but closing indicators and everything, let's call it. Something interesting to see over here, this is developing W as well. W is also going to be a breakout pattern, but initially it's going to handle over here, cup and handle. How it's going to go is basically this up to 4,000 or 4,100, then we might see a dip of 350 or $400 on it, and I will show you in the next slide. So as you see, now I'm focusing on since 2024. Earlier I started with the bigger picture, now I'm slowly going on a recent time frame. So I want to start looking at the stocks, what's happening. Earnings I did not say it, but red ones, company is missing the expectations, whatever the normal consensus was. The green ones on the earnings are okay, surprise came, we don't know. I'm not doing any fundamental also good to see it, which stands very well for the LNT, of course. That's why we are talking actually. So if you see that this is the call that happened, but what I'm very interested in this one down, so everything happens in a channel, right? It's very easy to find some trends actually, trend lines. So in this one, this is the slope that it was going down, but the breakout happened since it crossed above this one. And now if you see that this is following this channel, why particularly I am interested in this 3485 breakout is that this was the reason it was stopping. Now earlier this was a resistance, now this has become our support. So 3485 is very first support, it's a minor one, that's fine. Next one is 3285, 3089. So what I'm looking at the support wise is 3485 and 3089. Now, the way I was talking earlier, the cup and handle, how it's going to be developed. If you see earlier, I called this a W move, right? So when we see, we came down up to here. So this is the $352 journey was here. Now, based on this, 352 is coming again. So what is our stop? What we are looking around between 3880 actually. Is it going to happen? Most probably yes. But interesting is this is not going to stop here as we are with the, so of course 3880 here we see the volume what's being happening over here. If you see this is the hammer, which is not good, but the volume was not concerned over here. It's a green. Let's see what happens next day, Monday. The market, what we know is in the face, it's in the bull face right now. And so basically 4,100, 4,000 I'm looking, then I see the correction of the valuation of the $350. That will give us a cup and handle, very nice formation once it happens at 4,000. What we are looking $1,000 journey. So this is how the journey is going to happen most likely. Based on that, if you refine it, the targets are coming. Minor targets are coming there, 4260. The next one is 4660. I can go on details about it, but nobody wants to spend that much time. If somebody wants to learn something, I'll be having some documentation on LNT as well on my WhatsApp and YouTube channel. If you like it, please join it. That's how you're going to get the updates about it. Thank you for watching. So Larsen Toubro. Okay, yeah. So there's a few more things that I would like to talk about actually. There are some good stocks as I was going through. Let me see.